Hi, I've been meaning to make this video for a couple of months, and I'm suffering from analysis paralysis. And this is me just ripping the bandaid off. I first considered making a YouTube channel 2017. I did a few recordings, hated it, as you do, and nothing came of it. I should probably stop swaying. But last year, now I feel like there's a lot I want to share. And I have tried other mediums like TikTok and Instagram, and I just don't have the personality for those types of apps, and it just exhausted me. So I made a comment this year that I'm probably better suited to YouTube, but that is now where the art of procrastination has absolutely taken a hold of me. In fact, I'm probably going to look away quite a bit because this is weird for me still. I'm going to be as raw as possible in these videos in terms of just what it takes and what I'm doing, because the reason I want to do a channel is not because I want to be a content creator, but I am artistic, and I think a lot of artists can relate that we have a compulsion to express ourselves. And sometimes it feels like we don't have a choice. So, I don't know if I introduced myself, but I'm Skylar. I am from South Africa and an author, amongst other things. I'm not good with self promotion, um, because I do feel sometimes projects choose you and not the other way around, which I feel is definitely the case in with my book, John Vigilance, which I wrote, started writing in 2010, and I published it officially myself last year, October. So what I did was a bit different because my journey has been a bit odd. I am giving this video as an introduction, but it's going to be a little bit haphazard. But I'm going to be as raw as possible to also kind of, I guess, enjoy the progression of improvement. I don't have an intro song. I don't have a fancy little jingle that sounds off, because that's the point of this video. I have analysis paralysis, and I've been thinking about making videos forever, but there's always just something that makes it not perfect or not timely. And then you end up doing nothing. So the reason I wanted to do a YouTube video was actually just for one specific thing. And that is that for my book launch, I'm an indie author. I'm looking away too much. I'm going to post it like it is right now so that we can all learn together. I decided to have a book launch masquerade. And the series I'm going to do first is going to be things I wish I knew before planning a masquerade. I don't know how many parts there will be because there's a lot of facets in that thing. This is just to give an introduction. I am an author, but I also do a bunch of different things. I have an engineering background. I am currently working as a mixed bag, project coordination, but I'm also doing some 3D modeling. So I'll share a bit in each video as we progress. Obviously, I live in my mind, so it's very difficult to kind of sift through everything and be like, oh, here's all my points of life and things that you should know. I don't know. Um, so I've been procrastinating this, as I've been saying. First, I had to get a tripod because, yeah, let's just run through it then, shall we? Because I'm sure I'm not the only one that's struggling with that. First of all, I would have preferred to do this in the day because of lighting. I might look shit now. I'm really doing my best to not freak out and to stop everything and just start over. I'm going to ramble. I don't think anyone's going to watch this video. Definitely not in the next couple of months. So I'm not going to stress out. Maybe in 10 years I'll look back and then I'll have like fantastic editing and just a beautiful channel and be like, oh, what did you do? But I'm someone that seems to learn best when thrown into the deepest part of the ocean and I'm just forced to swim. And that's something that I completely learned or finally sank in last year. So just to give a recap of last year, I was doing full-time work with an engineering firm whilst editing and finishing up my book. I don't know if I said the name, Charmed Vigilance. It's my first novel. It's my baby. I worked 14 years on it. Why? As you might have heard from my accent, I am Afrikaans. I'm not an English native speaker. And though I would like to think that my accent is neutral, I don't think it is because sometimes I start speaking English and then someone just switches to Afrikaans. So I took 14 years because when I started, I was, how old was I? It was second year of engineering. And so that's what I didn't turn 20 yet, so I was 19. And my background is I didn't really read at that stage. My mom had read to me some books like Sinbad and things, but I wasn't a big reader. So I wrote this book, and I'll give the background on that maybe in a different stage. I can do what I want when I want. This is just a little chat. This is a monologue with myself that no one's gonna ever see. Ah, let me just tell you, okay, while we're here, actually, I didn't even think of this, but whoop, almost broke my heart. This heart. Um, oh, see, this is how just helter skelter I am. I'm just like, I just need to do it. My face is probably gonna cut off. You know what? If my face is cut off, I'm still posting this. I don't give a shit. My baby. So, just to give you a little snippet that I'm not joking, I don't know if you can see that, about the author. In the spirit of mystery and intrigue, Schuyler believes some tales are best left untold, including her own. I wrote that in my book, so I don't like to really talk about myself, especially in the public setting. But I have found that a big motivator for me is to have um, a bigger thing than yourself that you are accountable to. At the moment, I don't really have anyone or anything that's driving me to do the things that I'm supposed to do, which is why, not supposed to do, want to do. Let's rephrase that. And I thought to myself, if I do video recordings, try to do it weekly, I am kind of forced to do something because I am lazy at the moment and I was still busy talking about last year. I had a full time job. I was finishing this book. I'm an indie publisher, so I had to do everything myself. And a first time author, so I had no clue at what lay ahead, to be honest with you. Um, I'm jumping around a lot. I'll post some more cohesive thing later if anyone asks in the future. But I also decided to plan a full on formal masquerade for my book launch. And I decided to do it the 18th of October. That is basically a day after my birthday. So it's like a little birthday present for myself. And I just liked the timing of it. So it wasn't too early just to be very cold. And it wasn't too late in the year where people are having too many, what do you call it? Company closure parties and stuff, which usually happens a lot in November and December. And then people are gone. So it just worked out pretty well, I think. So the masquerade, I'm wondering how much I should share now. Um, I don't think I'm going to share too much. I just want to get this out there as an introduction video. I don't think anyone's going to look at this. I hope no one's going to look at this. It's fine if I'm like 200 videos in and you want to see my first video. For my own sake, I'm going to leave it up. But there's just so many things that I keep learning and adding that I do want to document it. Even if no one ever watches this channel, I think it will be pretty cool to look back in 50 years and maybe even give it to, I don't know, I don't have kids, but to like the offsprings of my family and be like, this is the journey that I walked. So, in terms of the channel, I can't really say exactly what the niche is going to be. Imagine just me talking about my book, maybe doing some readings, but mostly the biggest motivator to start the channel was to discuss the masquerade, which I planned from scratch to the end product. And I was very proud of it, including a treasure hunt. And oof, oh, I see it's all coming back to me now. I'm not going to spoil that, but I just remembered an aspect that's making me very excited again. But I planned a whole treasure hunt, scavenger hunt, completely on my own. And due to the costs, I decided that I need 350 guests to keep the costs low. And that has been an interesting thing. Let me tell you, I don't have a background in events planning. I'm just a psycho. I started doing dinner parties for friends 2018. Really liked it. Did I really like it? I like serving people. I like to create space. I think my purpose as a human is to create space, create moments, create art, create beauty, create whatever, insert your a thing that can be created. And then I upgraded later on. Let me think. 2018, I organized what do you call it, a dress up party. Invited like 100 people, 55 came. I'm talking about like people that I know, people that know people that I know. And then what was the other party I had? I also organized over 30s. Yes, I'm over 30. Shocker. Lord of the Rings extended version movie nights. Planned that on my own. So I did like the bean bags and stuff free of charge. I'm not getting paid for it. So it's just been my heart always to create cool events for people and for my friends, I guess. And then I had to start thinking, how am I gonna market my book since I'm doing it on my own. And the book has a masquerade, which is kind of an important, what do you call it, catalyst in the story. So I was driving home one day, and it was December 2023. I was like, how am I going to market this thing? Like, what am I going to do? And it came to me and I was like, I am going to have a masquerade. And it's huge. Like, I knew this was massive. It's not an easy feat. So I thought about it, write about it, because it's like, you don't just take this on willy nilly. And yeah, I ended up literally designing my own website. It's still live, but I've stripped it bare a little bit because there was obviously some pages specific to the masquerade. But if you want to watch it, check it out. It's thecharmedmasquerade.coza. There are some photos on there from the event. But I will be going, that's going to be the series or this playlist of things I wish I knew before planning a masquerade. That's going to be the first. And now I'm a little stuck between wanting to say this and not sure if I should. I'm obviously writing the sequels. It's a trilogy. At the moment, I actually kind of feel this is like a prequel, and then the other two will be like a duology. But I am busy with that. And then I'm also busy. See, the thing is, I want to surprise people, but not everyone likes it. And maybe people don't actually care that much. I am learning 3D modeling for Blender with the idea of creating an immersive experience based on my book. Yes, I might want to say gamification. I'm going to do everything myself, and I know this much right now. So don't expect anything in the next 2 to 5 years on that front, because I'm still full-time working and I'm writing sequels, and I just generally have ADD. So, good luck. Don't put your calendar on freeze for a date. But you know what? I'm just gonna live my best life. I think one of the reasons I'm probably gonna watch this back and hate every second. One of the reasons I haven't put up a video is I feel like my personality is not really alluring for the social media space. Everyone's either very aggressive or shouty or talks really fast. No judgment. I listen to YouTube videos on 2 times speed. 2 times speed. I think this is it. I am gonna do some editing and cuts on this, but not too much because I do want to be real in the journey of starting. Just do it. Maybe it's a bad idea. I don't think anyone's going to watch this video. If they do, oopsie. So I'm going to put this out, and then I'm going to probably, I don't know, start. That's the thing. I want things perfect. Even with this, like I did a whole setup video and I took recordings, and I'm like, should it be further away? Should I sit on the ground? Should I have lighting there? Should I have lighting there? What should I walk in? What should my introduction be? How do I greet? How do I sit? I don't know. This is probably terrible. I don't care. Well, I do care. And that's why I'm trying to overcome the analysis paralysis demon by just jumping into it. And I might forget, like I said, if my face is cut off, so be it. Um, I look forward to being weird and speaking to myself in my room, staring at a little cube, actually three holes specifically, and telling you about this little baby that has been tormenting me for years. I'll share about the book process and everything. Oh, I get emotional just watching this. So the this is the first edition, of course, and because of, well, not because of, I did a special print. So the book has illustrations, but only the South African version, unfortunately. It's just way too expensive to do it overseas at the moment. Here's a teaser. It is on the Kindle version. I'm going to stop now because there's so much to share that I can actually probably just speak for the rest of the week. Um, yes, so if you watch this to the end, wow, good job. I am going to hate every second of rewatching this. I'm going to probably cry myself to sleep if I post this tonight, unless something has gone wrong with the mic, which will be hilarious. Luckily, we have AI, and I've heard there's like a website that can fix your audio. It's so weird. It's not eye contact, but it feels really weird to just, I don't even know which one of the freaking three things to stare in. This is going to be crazy. I have no idea what's going to come of this. I don't know what it's going to shape into. I might share lifestyle stuff. I don't know. We'll see, you know? We'll just see. At this like at this point of the journey, I think we're not even at the pottery clay yet. The clay isn't even there. Like we are, and by we, I mean me. We we are just in the wilderness searching for clay, the dust, the, the building material. That's where we are right now. We don't know where the clay deposit is, if there is a clay deposit. And we are just walking around stabbing the ground. So yes, I hope you enjoy stabbing the earth with me. I don't, I hope that word doesn't get censored. This is going to be wild. Okay, I'm going to stop.